My name is Ramon Isan. Today I want to share how Coach Means impacted my life. Coach Means helped me understand that winning in the swimming pool, as well as in life, is 90% mental and 10% physical. To reinforce this point, he would say, it's not the dog that's in the fight that matters, it's the fight that's in the dog. Taking this statement to heart, my professional career included work on Space Shuttle Columbia program, the South Texas Nuclear Power Plant project, leading a team of engineers to Germany to oversee the engineering of 2 hydrogen plants, representing Saudi Aramco's interests doing the engineering of the world's largest chemical plant, and obtaining a Master's of Engineering degree. Coach Means, thank you for your years of support and guidance, and for helping me to tap into that fight that is within all of us.
Coach Means, where do I begin? You're a real trailblazer in the sport of swimming. You ensure that people of color got the opportunity to participate in competitive swimming. And, that led to myself and my family having that opportunity. And we're forever grateful for that. And we're forever grateful for you, At the pool, you were always motivating me to be a better swimmer. Whether it was working on technique, sprints, flanks, whatever it was, you were always on top of it. And, after practice, I would always look forward to shaking your hand and talking about the different things that I could work on, and not only in the pool, but also academia. You gave me a lot of school advice, and you made sure that I was on top of my studies, and as well as my personal life. You've been a great mentor to me and a real inspiration in my life. And all I can say is I'm forever grateful for the opportunity that you gave me, and thank you. Thank you so much for everything you've done and giving me the skills that I will use for the rest of my life. I really appreciate you, and I just want to commend you on this wonderful day.
Hello, this is Leo Orlando Eson, formerly known as Ernest's little brother at Texas Southern University. Congratulations and wishing you the best, Johnny Means. I'm quite sure you don't realize how the impact you've had on lives throughout your time both at TSU and other pursuits. I thank you what you did for me and my brothers and all the young men that come through your programs. Best of luck to you and good luck.
Coach Johnny Means, another living legend out of 3rd Ward, Texas. Your reputation and your storied accomplishments precede you, brother. Over the course of 9 decades, you've learned how to balance yourself on the shoulders of the legendary ancestors who blazed the path for you. Your mother, your father, Mr. Raymond Daniels, Dr. David Raines, Commissioner Elfranco Lee, and of course, the casual philosopher, Uncle Chester. There were many, many more, but for now they'll remain anonymous. They left a lot of work for you to do. And because of your indomitable spirit and the values that you've always exemplified by being steadfast and always giving back to the community. You've spent your entire adult life helping young and old. You are a change agent that increased access to swimming and promoted it in Houston's Black community. And along the way, you've built a legacy for a new generation. You've been a relentless warrior for Black children in the sport of swimming. You've instilled in them the values to not only excel in the pool, but to transform themselves into better human beings and to aspire to excellence in life. You've never let the barriers of segregation and discrimination turn you around. When racial prejudice denied Black athletes the opportunity to compete with whites in mainstream swim meets, you raised the curtain on unjust bigotry. You busted down the damn doors of Jim Crow at the natatorium and ushered in the concept of diversity in USA Swimming. And the traditional society had to recognize you. Look at you. Here you are, Johnny Means, in the Texas Swimming and Diving Hall of Fame. And please forgive me for not mentioning an exhausted list of your accolades and accomplishments, because we can't be here all day and all night. You know, when I really learned who you are, I thought of the Grambling football team, because as a TSU alumnus, I discovered that Coach Eddie Robinson is the Johnny Means of HBCU football. But to me personally, you'll always remain a mentor and a trusted and valuable friend. Love and blessings to you and on you and your beautiful bride, Lynn.
This video is about the excellence in achievement by Coach Johnny Means. Coach Means has always been a quiet, gentle, giant leader. When I was equipment manager, Coach Means would come around. He wouldn't say much. He would observe. He would tell us a few little things that we need to do to make things better. But he was always there, being very supportive of not only Troy, his son Troy, but also of each one of us as students and as athletes. Coach Means has always been excellent at the things he does. At the same time, having a quiet, humble spirit about himself. Things that only a man of God, a godly man, a person with a godly heart would have. Coach Means is a part of my family. He's my cousin. I call him Uncle Johnny out of respect, because that's what he means to me. We have a long family line of Tigers, and they're all great, those that are here and those that are gone. Coach Means is everything to me. I'm happy for you. You deserve this honor. You have always been great. You will always be great in my eyes. in my children's eyes, and in the eyes of our family, the Means and the Graves. We are happy for you, Uncle Johnny. Keep being great. We love you dearly. Hats off to you. Bye-bye.
Greetings, I am Erin Patton, and this message is for Coach Johnny Means, who was a transformational figure in my life. He taught me supreme discipline, supreme dedication, and supreme hard work towards a very important cause, and that was a cause for myself. And all of my brothers and sisters in the HCAP program, and all that we did was more than just about swimming. It was more than just morning workouts and weights and running ramps. It was about lifting up our spirit and knowing that we had a voice and a place in a world that looked nothing like us. Whether we won, whether we lost, we were always winners. And so this was a message and a lesson that I've taken with me to today. And I'm also grateful for the safe space he created for all of us. I am still friends and family with lots of the folks in the program, and I'm forever grateful to you, Coach Means, for what you've created, and I wish you nothing but love and light. Thank you.
Hey, Coach Means, how you doing? This is Martin. Every now and then, there's people that come into your life, and they teach you about what's about to come into your life, and they train you for it, and they make you a better person, they make you a stronger person, so that you can get through those obstacles and the things that's in front of you, such as hurdles, obstacles, fatherhood, motherhood. You learn what you can go through, you learn what you can't go through. I'm thankful for you. Those herbs, I hear them in my sleep. They tell me to get up, keep going, go faster, do more. And I appreciate you. HCAP for life.
There are a lot of things that Coach Means needs to be praised for, but for me, it's definitely his leadership. Coaches never fail to keep me motivated, whether that's out of the water during lift, or when we're at the track, or when we're doing a very hard set during practice. Without Coach Means, I wouldn't have the determination to push through a lot of my goals or the willingness to try new things, and I can't thank him enough for doing his part to make me the person I am today.
Coach Means, you and everything HCAP has done has single-handedly changed my life and so many others, especially in the Black and Brown community. And for that, I just want to say thank you. Without you and your unyielding support for the HCAP program, for the many, many years you've been a part of it, I don't know exactly how we could ever thank you, because it has truly been a moving force in so many of the things that we do today and in so many of the places that we are today. You have helped establish work ethic, leadership, and opportunities that I know I wouldn't have had if I didn't have this program and if I didn't have you. And I just want to say thank you. And the last thing I do want to say is, believe it or not, I did just tell someone what lollygagging meant the other day, and so your Coach Mean-isms are always with me.
Coach Means taught me a valuable lesson about perseverance and not skipping any steps to get to your end goal. So when I first got to his group, I couldn't really do 10 push-ups, military push-ups. And it was like a requirement, because every day during warm-ups, we had to do like 30 push-ups in sets of 10. So I would always kind of complain about it, and I would still have to do it anyway though, because he would always make me. So eventually I was able to do the 30 military push-ups, and I ended up being a stronger swimmer because of that, naturally, because you get stronger. But I say that just to say, like, it just taught me, I don't even know if he knows how much that affected me, but it just taught me that I shouldn't skip any steps towards success, because all of that work is necessary. So thank you, Coach Means.
Coach Johnny Means, you have truly embodied the meaning of "it takes a village." As the youngest Eastside brother of 5 that swam for you at Texas Southern University, our family will be forever grateful. While at Texas Southern and over the years, you've been a coach, a mentor, a friend, and much more to me. As I've mentioned to you on several occasions, because of you, Coach, I was able to accomplish so much. Coach Means, you directly impacted my success of becoming a naval officer, a Navy pilot, a United Airlines pilot, and a real estate entrepreneur. After my first year at Texas Southern, I left to go back to Los Angeles to continue my college education. When I realized that I had made the wrong decision, I called you, Coach, to ask if I could get my scholarship back. Without hesitation, Coach, you said, "Come on back." That fall semester of 1975, I read an article in the Houston newspaper that said, "Fly Navy. Join Rice University Navy ROTC and become a pilot." And the rest is history. Not being one of your strongest swimmers, you still always encourage me to do my best. Even today, I can see you on the deck of the old TSU pool almost 50 years ago, saying, "Ain't nothing to it but to do it." So on behalf of myself, Mario Michael Isung Sr., my wife Romeo, my son Mario II, my daughter Marshall, and countless generations of the Isung family to come that will benefit from what you gave me. Thank you, Coach. We love you. Godspeed to you and your family. And thanks again for being a part of that village that made it happen for countless numbers of individuals over the past 50 years.
My name is Rashad Cave. Coach Johnny Means had a tremendous impact on my life. You know, a lot of times when we look at and listen to recordings, you normally hear the young man that didn't have a father, single parent, low income housing. But that's not my story. But what Coach did for me was actually show me what it meant to really create a village to raise a child. He showed me two things: what was toughness, what did it look like, how did it feel, and how dedicated a person needed to be in order to reach their goals, aspirations, and that stuck with me. And I can honestly say, not only has it stuck in me, but as a man growing up, I can still hear that inner voice of Coach Means saying, "Let's go, keep going." And as a man and as a person that is just still striving for goals and aspirations, what better voice than to hear one of the most impactful coaches in your life keep telling you, "Don't stop, keep going." Man, he means a lot. You know, again, that village. You know, I still have a father, a loving father who's always taking care of me. But, you know, to be a successful man, you need that village. You need a loving father. You need a educator. And you need a person that will push you. And I truly mean that Coach Means has truly meant the world to me, especially from the aspect of, again, showing me how important it is to keep pushing through. And he's been there at every step of my life. He gave me my first Swish Army watch when I graduated high school. Him and Miss Means sent me a car when I graduated. When I ran for city council, he counseled me, talked to me, and motivated me. And so, you know, even up until this day, he has still been an impact in my life, and I can still reach out to him. He always answers, and he has always made time for me and my family. So, Coach, I am, again, Rashad Cave, one of your favorite students, athletes, you know, also to SU grad, you know, go Jaguars, Baton Rouge. I just want you to know that all of the hard work that you have done has not gone unnoticed. I don't know how outside of this video, outside of giving you flowers, cards, and money, how anybody can truly show the impact that you have bestowed upon myself and other people that have come before and after me. So I want you to know that I appreciate it. I want you to know that you have not only impacted me, but impacted how I've become as a man. And I want you to know that if you don't hear from anybody else, Coach Means, you are one of the best, not only here in Houston, but in Harris County, probably even in Texas and in the world, that you have continued to improve not only my life, but males' lives. And I just want you to know that you mean the world to me, and keep pushing. Don't give up. Man, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Hi, my name is Maria Santiago. I think they've been swimming with Coach Mean for at least 6 years. 6 years, both of them. After Daddy passed away, we went to join. I think, because being a person with a lot of experience, and you see him all be present there, guide everybody as an example for us to follow and encourage to keep going and do better every day. It's been almost 3 years without them, it's hard. Yes, it's better every day with them, join all of you, the coaches, and being the main coach over there, and always, no matter what, he's there behind everybody else. So we really miss him, he's such a great man, big heart, always taking care of everybody else. We're gonna say thank you so much, Coach, for everything you do for all of us. We know you have a big heart, you help, you give all your knowledge to all your students and your coaches. You always help us, you're always there for us, for your athletes, cheer up everyone, and keep us all working, keep going, saying we can do that, and you're always behind us to try to make our goals, reach our goals. We love you, Coach Mean. We miss you. Thank you for everything. You're the best.
I'm Julian Means.
Francine. Oh, Araya. To me, he means family and a lot of love. And he's like a leader. He's just great to be around.
To me, he means, to me, he's always been incredibly supportive, incredibly understanding, a very great model for leadership, very great model for me growing up. He's always, just as my dad did, he's always had my back. He's always supported me through my ups and my downs. So he's just an ideal parent, ideal grandparent, ideal father figure, always concerned about his grandchildren, his children. So just support and a great example of fatherhood, grandfatherhood, and whatnot. Well, he has a lot of stories that he's told me from when I was a little kid. So some of those I don't remember too clearly. Of course, a good example is, I was part of his swim team growing up. So that was a lot of experience I had, not only with him, but what his legacy is, what he passed down to my dad and what they both passed down to me. So yeah, I remember those days of going to his pools or the pools that he was coaching at the time. When I was young, right after school, we'd go in, put on the swim attire, Speedo and whatnot, laps back and down. So, there's something that was been passed down to all of us in our family. So that's one example. So I've had direct experience with his legacy, and I learned how to swim competitively through him and my father. It gave me a good extracurricular activity, something to engage in. I would go on meets, so we would wake up early in the morning on weekends. We would go to different pool areas. I got to compete in swimming, so I always have that talent, just being able to swim. They always had a stereotype that black people can't swim, so I guess I break that mold. One of the people who break it. But yeah, it helped me develop. It helped me develop myself athletically at the time, and it kept me with swimming. So that's something I'll always be able to do. And then that's the experience I have training, working with him, working with my father, working with like Coach Mo, Coach Grasshopper, all of them back then. And then being able to compete and being able to actually put what we practice put what we trained for into practice, and then got to see where, I could have done better, why I didn't do this or that and such. Yeah, I would say so. I think in a sense they both kind of intertwine, maybe without him like consciously doing anything, because that's his legacy. You know, even if regardless if we're there or not, he's you know, that's just something that was just so much a part of it. You know, my dad has a history with it. Of course, he has his history with it. We've seen him go through his you know, his honors and his accolades when he goes and he gets awards. So I think he was able to separate them, but I think I guess that was just so much a part of, I guess, his background, his legacy, his culture, that just kind of intertwined just with our family dynamic.
About 4 years now.
About 4.
Yeah. Well, for me, I came from a very rough background, and there's some things that fell apart for me in the very beginning. And I remember him saying to me, "You're family now. So if you're going through something, all you have to do is tell me, and I'll be there for you." And that, to me, it's been strong since then, and never been left that. If you are in trouble, call me, tell me, and I'll be there for you. And he's always been there. And that has shown me what family truly is. That's how I learned what family was, you know. Yeah.
How does he insert himself?
Oh, so much. When she was born, he called all the time to check on her. And he says this all the time. He's like, "Make sure you take care of my little mama now." And I'm like, "Okay." And I was telling him, "Oh, Halloween is coming, and I really wanted her to have Halloween." So he's like, "Okay, don't worry about it. Come over, and we'll give her some type of Halloween thing." When we came over there was a huge bag of candy just for her, because we couldn't go house to house because of COVID. And he rocked her to sleep. He did everything with her. It was wonderful. She really enjoyed it. She was passed out in his lap sleeping.
I would definitely say honor, leadership, morale. You know, that's somebody who is very, very kind person, very kind, understanding. You know, the dynamic between him and my grandmother, you know, then the impact that they had on my family growing up was incredible. But he was definitely somebody who instilled a lot of value, a lot of understanding, a lot of us being able to talk and discuss with him certain things. You know, I spent a lot of time talking with him growing up. I used to sit in his, as I still do, but speaking from a past tense, I would sit with him, and we would just have a lot of discussion about everything, life, certain interests I might have, even if we have different views on it. He was just somebody who would listen, and we could talk and learn from each other. So definitely honor, definitely morale, definitely understanding, and just an overall great example of leadership and great example of fatherhood and sacrifice and things of that nature.
For me, it's mostly to lead, stick with your family, and take it one step at a time. And also, he's taught me to be very open-minded to things. He is a great listener, and that to me teaches me how to be a listener for her when she gets a little bit older. Sit and talk with your kids, and that's how he is with me, with everyone. You can just show up, you'll eat, and you'll sit in that little area he has, and he'll talk to you, and you'll talk to him, and he'll listen, he'll give you advice, and I love that about him. Araya would like to say she loves Pawpaw very much, right? And you can't wait to learn how to swim very soon. And I love you, Pawpaw. I love you so much. You're wonderful.
Yeah, we love you, Pawpaw. We thank you for always being there. It was always appreciated, and we just want you to know, no matter what the family has gone through over the past, I guess for me, 29 years, we love you, and we appreciate everything you've done for us, and we just want you to know that you're always appreciated, and we really do feel the significance of what you've done for us growing up, me and my brothers, and just everybody around. We really appreciate your energy, and we love you.
I'm Larry Blackman. My relationship with Coach Means goes back all the way when I heard of him when he was in high school at Jack Yates Swimming. And he was a legendary swimmer back then. Now, Johnny Means also was a phenomenal athlete. He played football and he was a swimmer. And he happened to be under another legendary coach by the name of Raymond Daniels. Raymond Daniels was the swimming coach at Yates, and he was a football player also. Now, Raymond Daniels and Johnny Means played the same position. Raymond Daniels played halfback back then and at Yates, and Johnny Means played halfback under him at Yates. And so I think he felt like Johnny was going to be the second coming of himself. So Johnny Means ended up being the second coming of Raymond Daniels. And we know that all good coaches come from a legendary stable when they're good. And Johnny Means just picked up right where Raymond Daniels left off. Oh, yeah. He was our neighborhood hero. He did everything that we thought that we should be about. Again, you have to understand, in Third Ward, people in Third Ward knew that instead of baseball, or softball, or basketball, swimming is our first sport. And Johnny Means was an excellent swimmer. Again, he, Square, Thurman Robbins, Freeman, those people were, the names were just out throughout the neighborhood. And Johnny Means was at the top of that list. Well, he means, number one, a good friend, somebody that you can look up to, somebody you could model yourself after. And he always exemplified hard work. So I know this documentary is talking about by any means necessary, but we say by Johnny Means is necessary. I never did swim for Johnny Means. He's exactly 10 years older than I am. So I got a chance to look at him coming up and go and watch him perform. But later on, he started working. He was the Tiger Sharks. The Tiger Sharks was the name of the swim team at TSU. And Johnny had, I was attending Lamar University at the time when Texas Southern came and swam against Lamar University. Well, I hate to say it, but even though I was at Lamar, I was pulling for TSU because of Johnny Means, and I knew. But he came there and he got the team ready. They already had a dual meet against Rice University, and Rice University would always have the pool cold. So Johnny decided he was going to get his team ready. They went against them in a dual meet the first time, and the second time they went against Rice. Johnny Means opened up all of the windows in the wintertime and did not turn on the heat in the pool and had them swimming in there. And they annihilated Rice, and they came back and they were ready for Lamar, because Lamar, they won the late show. They didn't get the memo. And so when TSU came there, they were ready, and I think they won almost every race that it was. I've seen him coach, and I was one of his disciples with Parks and Recreation, and we started a team. When you look at it's a movie called, I can't think of the name. It was a swim movie with Pride. It was that movie. And Johnny Means, they had to be right here to see that. So he did the same thing, and we did the same thing too. So you go with what you got, and what he did, he taught everybody every stroke. He came out and he worked with each and every team in Parks and Recreation to make sure that they were ready. And so when we competed against each other, we were fortunate enough to win. And when they didn't have swimming trunks that were the same color, the same size, and all that, we did all of that. But the most astounding thing is that we took all our teams out to El Paso at an AAU meet, and we won every event, first, second, and third, and almost every record was set in each event when we went out there. And the next day in the paper, they said, "Where did these people come from?" And that was amazing. Well, he had one phrase that he would use all the time, and I know you guys know it. He would have you sweating in the water, and that's amazing. And so, you work until you give it everything that you have. If those things that you don't know, you can learn, and he taught you that you were capable of learning, and in addition to that, capable of excelling once you learn it. And if anything, I can say Johnny Means exemplified being the best of the best.
Coach Means, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for, number one, setting up a program for children. What your mission was personally driven by your love for your community, and it showed because you poured your heart, your soul into it, endless hours. I know that you've given so much of it and have asked for nothing in return except the joy of being able to make an impact, and your impact has been tremendous. There's not too many places that I can go in Houston without somebody knowing who Johnny Means is, and being able to have been taught from this legacy and from the lineage of you and from your lineage of Ray Daniels. My hope is that we can continue to pass down the amazing lessons that you've taught us in and out of the water. You've had the hardest workouts that I've ever been through, heaving on the side of the deck, holding on for mercy, as you would say, just hold on, just hold on. And when I didn't think that my arms could keep up with the pace, you'd tell us, just hold on and do it again. And it made me a very tough person, a very tough competitor. I appreciate it. When I got to college and I had to train with the guys because the girls weren't used to the level of training that we had here in high school, that felt like an accomplishment to me. You also led with so much compassion. I know that we couldn't cross you, we couldn't upset you. You were pretty stern about that. We knew where our limits were, but it taught us discipline. It taught us how to carry ourselves, how to conduct ourselves, what proper behavior was. And you never judged us for any station of life that we were in. I think that all families are unique. All families have struggles that they overcome. And there was never once an instance where I felt less than. There was never once that I felt like I didn't belong or I didn't have a place. And I know that you made a place for every single child that was here. And that was not an accident. I know that that was by choice, and that was by conscious effort. And that is appreciated. Thank you for everything. Thank you for all of the life lessons. Thank you for seeing me as a human being, as a person, for seeing my potential. Even when I doubted myself and I ask you over and over, your calm presence always settles me, as I'm sure it does other people. That settling, I think, is one of your strengths, your quiet strengths, is that you're on solid ground. And if anybody's standing next to you, they're on solid ground. And you have pulled so many people next to you and under your wings and onto solid ground. And I hope that you feel it in your heart, how much we all appreciate you. Thank you, Coach Means.
Hi, my name is Candace Tucker. Johnny Means, you mean the absolute world to me. I thank you for the constant backing even though I was 1,600 miles away. I thank you for bringing me home to this great legacy. Of course, I started this in 90 and I left in 95, only to come back in 2017, all with your guidance. When I got back here, I definitely felt like a failure, but you definitely allowed me to see me for who I am. I thank you for everything that you've done for me, from the bottom of my heart. All of the talks and the love and the jokes and the friendship and the fellowship and the leadership. I couldn't say enough to how much you have affected my life, whether you know it or not. I started my program in Newark, and my idea was a Newark HCAP. And that's everything that I press for, is a fair and an honest program. And I got that from you, knowing that everything should be fair and honest. It's not always going to be accepted. You just take your hits and you get up and you keep going. And I can definitely say that that is something that I'm really good at now in life, is taking my hits, getting up and keep going. I thank you for all your lessons. I love you, and I can't wait for the next endeavor.
My name is Janine Thomas. I swam with HCAP from 1993 to 2001, and I was also a coach for HCAP from 2012 to 2018. Coach Means has had a profound impact on my life. Growing up as a swimmer, Coach Means was basically like a third parent. I saw him more than I saw my own parents sometimes. And, you know, his discipline, the discipline that he instills in all his swimmers, it served me really well throughout my life. I think Coach means a lot to all the swimmers that have swam with him, to all the coaches that he has come across and impacted. He even means a lot in this area, in the Sunnyside area, in the Houston area. You can't go anywhere without finding someone that knows Coach Means, who has been affected, impacted positively by Coach Means. I would like to say, Coach Means, thank you. Without his influence, without his advice and guidance, I'm sure my life would be a lot different right now, and maybe not in a good way. So thank you, Coach Means.
My name is Tarami Reedus. So I didn't really swim with Coach Means directly for a long time. I was mostly with Fallon Grasshopper and Coach Mo. But from the short time that I did swim with Coach Means, I just remember he was very understanding, because no matter what my view was like on swimming, basically for a while, like there was a time where I didn't want to swim anymore, and I remember he sat me down, we had a conversation about it, and you know, he was encouraging me to keep going, but he was also encouraging me to like just be realistic and practical with what I wanted. And I think that was a very pivotal conversation for me. I ended up leaving HCAP and I stopped swimming at that time, but I just remember that conversation and the time he took to sit me down. Like we literally just sat out the whole practice and we just kind of talked about, you know, life, got a little bit of history on him and stuff like that. So that whole, you know, couple of days was just a very pivotal moment for me in my life. Oh, it was phenomenal. I mean, being around Black people, Black swimmers, it kept me out of trouble, it kept me focused. I made a lot of good friends growing up, and it was a period of just, you know, developing me I'm saying? And being around, just around people that cared about me. No, the example I gave was my Coach Means story. As far as his HCAP though, one of my favorite memories is going to tags in the summer of 2010. And I was doing the 100 butterfly. And this was when I was in Fallon's group. And I just remember I dove off the block and I was just in my lane. I was in my zone. It was like probably the most focused I had ever been. And I come around for the second, I come back, right? Because it's 100. And I don't see anybody. So I'm kind of like, am I behind or I don't know what's going on. And I finished. I ended up first place, half foot length of the pool ahead of everybody. And I dropped 7 seconds. I was probably one of the best experiences ever. And, Coach Fallon was real proud of me. So that's probably my highlight HCAP moment. I mean, it's invaluable, but not only black coaches, but black teachers, mentors, faculty in schools, all of it. Coach Means is just another manifestation of a black man doing his thing for the community. That's how I see it, and that's why Coach Means and HCAP as a whole resonates with me so much. And when I got the news that this was happening, I knew that I had to be there, even though I hadn't been in touch with everybody for a long time. Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunities that you've given me, my brother, my peers, and I will the impact that you have had, that Coach Grasshopper's had, Coach Fallon, Coach Drew, Coach McMahon, Coach Mo. I will carry that with me forever. You guys have really instilled a lot in me, more than I could really ever say. Since a very young age, I came into HCAP at 5 or 6 years old. So just thank you to all of you. The legacy here will be carried forward.
Steve Whitfield.
David Fisher.
It was family. It was manhood. It was being a man, developing to be a man, to be who I am today. It is companionship. It is love. It is keeping order. It is a thing of understanding and having respect for your fellow man. He was all those things.
What else can I say? That he said it all right there. Some of the people I can see grew up with Coach Means, from children all up through college. When we got to college, we were pretty much already swimmers. And what we learned was just what Steve said, going to school, going to practice, doing the things that, you're supposed to do to be a man and productive in society.
He means respect, and he demands it. And so he brought that up to us, and we demand respect. And we get it, receive it, without saying a word.
Everything. He's almost like a father to me. Everything is Coach Means, his wife. I know his children. Been very close, and that's what he means to me, like a father figure.
Oh, we have many stories. Where would you like for us to start?
We have enough time, Steve?
I don't think we got enough time.
One story.
One story, okay. One weekend we were to be ready to start doing 3-a-days, and it just started getting cold in November, I think it was. And we were supposed to have swimming practice at 5 o'clock in the morning. And we had been out partying all night long. I think we had just got to bed at 4. And we were honestly, we said, we're just going to take a nap. We're just going to take a quick nap. Johnny Means was up in our room at 4:55 saying, why ain't y'all in the water? And so we said, what time is it? Boy, let me tell you. And we ended up having a very productive day. We had a great workout, and that was the beginning of our 3-a-days. And that's just the beginning of the many stories that I have to relay. I wish I could relate them all.
Well, there were a lot of stories. And my little story, I've got several stories. I'm just going to tell you. One was when I first got here. It was in late August of '73. And it's the first time I've ever been away from home. I'm from Detroit, so I'm 1,200 miles away from home. And I never will forget, I was sitting on the bed in the junior senior dorm, and he was talking to me. And my tears didn't come down, but they just lit up in my eyes. And I'm like, he knew I was ready to get on a plane and go back home. I was scared to death. And he said, David, everything's going to be okay. I'm going to take care of you. And he has, and that's the way it's been. So.
Again, we've had many swim meets. One of the most entertaining was we swam against Rice University, and at that time
we beat them.
We whooped they behind, and they put our score in the write up in the business section instead of the sports section. So it was kind of like that, you know. I mean, yeah, I think the beat goes on as far as what we have really witnessed as far as what America really is, you know. And I really hate to say America is really racist, but it's a thing though that we overtake it with love, because God has really shown us many roads.
Yeah, it's true. It's a motivator.
Very consistent. Let's see here. As David said, very motivated and intense.
He would just pair two guys. Like he would put me and Chris up there and just taunt us against each other and stuff.
Oh yeah.
He was unbelievable.
Oh yeah. We had like 3 different tiers of swimmers, and then he would enter swatch them, you know, and you would say, wow, okay, why do I need to swim against this guy? And I know he can beat me doing this. Or, you know, why would I be swimming against this guy? And I know I'm going to drench him. You follow me? But it was a way to really build endurance in all strokes. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would say that, you know, we love you and we appreciate what you did for us. You know, Coach is the kind of guy I may not see for 2 or 3 years, but when you see him, it's almost like you see him every day. We can talk, and we appreciate everything that you've done.
I wish that I had more to offer to him. I really don't know what I could do or say that would really make him better than what he is. You know, it's just one of those type of things where whatever God relates to us, whatever God relates to him, that's where we take off. Well, the thing is, what I can really respect about how we work out is that you would think that you needed more yards or meters every day, when it's really technique and coaching, all right? And Coach would pick out little details in strengthening your stroke, all right? And or what you would be better at as far as your breathing technique, just little bitty things. And those little bitty things were the things that we build upon to make us faster, to make us better. And the thing is that one of the most important things is I never knew this, that swimming is more gliding than it is stroking. And he brought those things up. Yeah.
Ditto.
Yeah. I wish he could go on and on and on.
Forever. I hope he lives forever.
Yeah. I hope he can go on and on and on.
Yeah. He's impacted probably thousands of lives, I would imagine, over the years.
Even if he doesn't know it.
Oh, I'm sure he does. Yeah, if he looks at us two knuckleheads and we made it, I'm sure he knows it.
I thank him so much for being an inspiration in my life, and I just hope he does well in the future with whatever he decides to go into. It means he actually cares about his swimmers. You know, a lot of other coaches, they show a little to no love to their swimmers, and I feel like Coach Means is an all-around person. He gives everybody a chance, and if you don't show him that you deserve his time and his energy, he just won't deal with you, you know, unless you're actually prove that you're worth his time and worth his energy, you know. And I feel like
I got to that point where he saw that in me, and it just took off from there. I think when he started talking to me, just like one-on-one a lot, I feel like he really cared about me, and he wanted me to do better, and I think he wanted me to just do my best. I think what he's done was really good. There's not a lot of programs that can be made free for, basically everybody. So I feel like what he did was really good, really nice. And I wish there were more coaches like him that cared about African-American swimmers like he does. So.
Kelvin Casey, 1972 to 1976, originally from St. Louis, part of the transition team that came down here.
Right, and David Tucker from New Jersey, and I was 69 to 74.
Swimming for me was a good outlet. That was my favorite sport. Grew up in an athletic family that ran track and football, and mostly everybody would say, "Do you play football like your dad did?" And all that. I'm like, "No, what do you do?" I said, "I'm on the swimming team." And they always gave me that look like, "Swimming?" But it brought me to Houston. I've been here ever since.
Yeah, and for me it was a little different. I was a knucklehead in high school. Came here actually without a scholarship, and came down. My mom came down with me for some kind of house. She ran into Johnny Means, walked me over here to the pool, and the next thing you know, I'm trying out for the swim team. Had no idea to do that. Didn't swim the summer before, and so he watched me swim, and he said, "Okay, well, hey, look, we're willing to let you try out." So the rest is history.
For me, a person that was dedicated to take kids and teach them how to swim and take them on through that level where most black kids weren't exposed to. And he just built you up. He was demanding, which was a good thing, and he just took us through a different part of our life. Actually, to me, it was a great accomplishment. He was just a mentor.
Yeah, mentor for sure. And he earned his name. I mean, I remember swimming, and Johnny Means. Those 2-a-days, remember those 2-a-days? I was like, man, he got the right name. But for me, I mean, he really helped me out. My dad had a third grade education, good man and everything, but he just wasn't about education like that. Johnny Means gave me a whole different idea about how important it is as to what it was that I was doing. And so it really shaped me in the sense that it helped me come up with a game plan when my kids start going to college and what was important. Because for him, it wasn't about starting. It was about finishing. There are a lot of kids that start college and don't finish. Coach Means made sure we finished. And really important. Really important. That's about the most important thing is he let us know that we were important and that it was important as to what it was that we were doing. And once you figured that out, it was easy. But it's just getting us to figure out that what we were doing was important.
For me, he was a no-nonsense person.
Me?
Yeah. He was no-nonsense. He was strictly business. And I think I was part of that radical team that came from St. Louis that, until we get this done and we get enrolled in school, we get this and that. He was like, no, we still got to practice. And it was just no nonsense. And you get down here, you're going to do what you're going to do. And I remember one time he said, "Y'all not doing anything. Just get out of here." We packed up before we hit that door. "Get y'all back in here." So, we just thought, hey, you said go. But, that was that part of that no nonsense.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, he earned his name. As a matter of fact, I use his words right now. Remember, he used to say, "It's hard, but it's fair." And I mean, he used to kill us. I mean, how is this fair? But it shaped my life in the sense that, when I started doing some coaching because I hadn't been doing any coaching until my daughter got into it. And but the first words that came out of my mouth was, "It's hard, but it's fair." The kids were crying and hollering, and I just remembered that, and it just really stuck. And anything that I did in life, okay, it's hard, but you know what? It's fair. So probably my biggest thing would be, thanks for hanging in there with me. Thanks for believing in me. I was a knucklehead first year and a half I was here, and like I said, I was a walk-on, and I earned his trust enough to give me a scholarship. And then, I wasn't real serious there for a while, but he didn't get rid of me. He just would come to the dorm, make sure that I was in the room, make sure that I was doing my homework. I guess he felt like I was in trouble, and he stuck with me. And then there was one day after practice, because we used to always talk to him after practice, and it's something he said, and he said, "David," he says, I'm gonna stick with you until you realize that what you're doing here is important." And I never thought about it like that. Never thought about this being important. And I would tell him thank you, for sticking with me. He brought me through a bunch of stuff.
For me, if he was here, I would hug him and thank him. I mean, if it wasn't for him and my high school coach, who actually had coached Johnny Means at one time, I wouldn't be here. I mean, 'cause never in my life would I have thought that swimming on a high school team would take me into college.
Yeah.
Just like I say, not being the track star or the football player that the rest of my family was. And like I say, you still hear people, "Oh, black swimmers."
Yep.
You got to know who these people are. And it did a lot.
And it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
We had fun,
Yep.
trips and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, we did. I mean, just some, we sometimes go over to U of H and go to Rice and swim over there, but they didn't expect to see black swimmers.
Right.
So
right.
still, we're talking about the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. So, that was just non-existent to a lot of people. And even sometimes over here at the campus, they knew about the older guys, TSU Tiger Sharks, but everything was football, track, and basketball. But then as they start hearing more about
us,
us, we used to fill the place up.
Yep, exactly it. Traveling to New Orleans when we went to the swim meets, I mean, people
Dillard,
came out.
Yeah.
Dillard, yep.
We always go to Dillard, go to Alabama.
Oh, that would be great.
Be great.
Oh yeah, that would be really something. I mean, I think, shoot, I'd help out any way I could to make that happen. To know that some other kids would have the chance, and I'm not saying just black kids. It's not that. It's just that there are a lot of kids that would really benefit from being in the sports program. I mean, my whole idea about kids, and as you know, everybody in my family had to play one sport. Now, it didn't matter what, but they had to at least play one sport. They had to learn how to work with other people, listen to a coach, somebody that's an authoritarian person, because that's all about life. And Coach made that really. He really helped me in terms of going into my professional life and understanding what my role was.
I would be happy it would bring back thoughts of what I went through, because like I say, never knowing that even in my high school, I was playing football, and the other guys, there was 3 of us that came down here together, that, they got a swimming team, but as a kid, I learned how to swim when I was 8 years old. And we went out for the team in our sophomore year, and we became the team. And that's how we ended up going around swimming, and then ended up coming down here, or opportunity to try to go to Dillard or one of the other schools. And we picked down here, and my mother and father said, well, go down here and see. And the amazing thing about it, the day I came in here on the bus from Dallas, I never could find Johnny Means. That was a Saturday. 18-year-old kid never been down this way. And I'm sitting down there in the dorm on a Sunday, and I look out the window and I see my mother and father walk by. They were coming to the dorm. They had Johnny Means with him. I'm like, how y'all found him? And I couldn't find him. So, but, you know, like I say, thankful, appreciative.
Oh yeah. So yeah.
I left man at home.
Yeah. Well. This is history. You know, I mean, this is, you know, these are the things we would get for earning our letters. So once it was a blanket, and we had the swim jacket. I got holes all in it, but you know what? I mean, I earned this. And you know, I mean, you know, like I said, it was hard, but you know, it was fair. You know, but you know, these were the kind of things. One of our swim mates, Frank Knight, and Frank was great. He developed this swim shirt for us. So we're Tiger Sharks, right? We had a tiger with a pot belly, and I thought that was the best thing. I love this shirt. I mean, look how many holes it has in it. I used to wear the shirt even after college. I wore this shirt. I was so proud of this shirt. But you know, it was a kind of camaraderie we had. I mean, these are the kind of things that you look at and you remember what it was that happened. And so this was that. Yeah. So I thought I'd bring this.
Ernest Esong,
Albus Prince,
from 68 to 72, and then assistant coach from 72 to 74.
I've never swam for Coach Johnny Means. He used to make me get in the pool to get in shape for football. So that's my swimming story with him, but I've been with him, I guess, since maybe about 77, 78. Believe it or not, swimming was an excellent means for me to get in shape. Extended my wind, it helped me with my running and my flexibility, and people put me in the pool till I puked, and I appreciate it for it right now.
Oh, it definitely helped us, like I say, me and my brothers, in getting to school and stuff like that, but also, like I said, being dedicated to a sport like swimming and stuff, and getting that, you know, activity and advantage to being able to go to get an education. So I think that helped out quite a bit.
Well, on my life, he had a profound impact on my life. Coach Means was my early childhood mentor, and he taught me how to be a man, not only to play sports and to excel in sports, but he taught me how to be a man, taught me how to grow up, taught me how to become mature, taught me how to make money and save money, and to be a good family man. And I modeled my early life after the life that I saw he and Lynn Marie live. And so he has been an inspiration to me all of my life, and he has done things for both me and my family that I will never forget. I don't know if I can share some of those stories, but you know, at a time my football career had came to an end, and I was dead broke. Didn't have a dime to my name. Had a young wife and had a baby boy that was just born into this world, and I needed $500 and didn't know where I was going to get it from. And I turned to Coach Means, and he said, you know, I'm gonna do something better for you than just give you $500. I'm gonna help you start your credit. I'm gonna take you over to the bank, and I'm gonna get you started over here, because you're gonna need credit for the rest of your life. And if you do what I think you're gonna do, this is gonna magnify in your life. And he took me to the bank, and he helped me to get the $500, but he also helped me start and establish my credit. And I have never looked back since. And he didn't think at the time that it had a profound meaning on me, but it was very meaningful to me as a young man with a young family. Something I'll always be grateful for, and I've never forgotten it. And the last thing I would share, I don't know if the statute of limitation is over with, but just to show you what a good friend would do. I was young in my law enforcement career, and I ran into a corrupt group of guys that I didn't think I could tackle by myself. So I called up my partner on the phone, and I said, hey, these guys are over here. He met me and I said, man, it's about 10 or 12 of them. He said, well, I think we can have them. I said, it's 10 or 12 of them. He said, you done got over there and got soft. I said, can we just get one more person? Just one more person. I feel comfortable with one more person. He said, who we gonna get? We over in the middle of the ward. Who we gonna get? I said, give me a second. Give me a second. We was driving down Scott Street. And I said, I got it. Let's get Johnny Means. He said, Coach Johnny Means. That's a great choice. Coach was out there. Coach was out there mowing his yard. And I said, we stopped up. He said, great day in the morning, boys. What's going on? I said, Coach, we need you. Your city needs you. Your country needs you. We got some trouble down the street. I need you to raise your right hand. And you would think the coach would know better than this, but we saw it on TV. We thought it sounded good. So Coach raised his right hand, and we swore a citizen in. But Coach fell right on in. He jumped in the car with us. We rolled back down the street. We were on our way. I need to say, we jumped out of the car. We did business, took care of business, trying to clean the story up as best I can. But we thank the coach, the city thanked the coach, and we were able to put some bad people away on that particular day. But that's what a friend will do for you in your time of need. Disregard for himself, his family. He jumped in because he knew his boys was going and they needed his help. And we appreciate it. I told this story at his retirement party, so I hope he don't mind me telling it again.
For me, like I say, Coach has always been there. Like I said, he brought me down from Los Angeles and stuff. And the story is so weird because, like I said, he had a good backstroker and stuff from Detroit and stuff he thought was really good and stuff. He went down to Grambling to swim. And this was back, I guess, in 67, 66. And he thought the guy was really good from Detroit and stuff. So he figured nobody could beat him and stuff. Well, he went down to Grambling. Guy from our team in Los Angeles, the AAU team in Los Angeles, which is an all-black AAU swim team in Los Angeles. So we competed all against the top, white athletes and stuff, swimmers in Los Angeles. Most of them went to the Olympics and stuff. And so he went down there and swam against the guy. And the backstroker was a guy, Ronald Allen, one of the top guys on our team. He went to Wiley. Well, Wiley didn't have a swim team, so he swam for Grambling. You could do that. You could play sports at another school if your school didn't have that sport. So he got down there swimming against him. So the guy from our team beat him so bad it was just unreal. And Coach was like, "Wait a minute, where did you come from, son? How did you get down there? Where are you from?" He said, "Do you have any other swimmers like you?" Thinking probably he came from an all-white team. He says, "Yeah, I come from an all-black AAU team in Los Angeles." He go, "You did?" He said, "Do they have any other swimmers?" He said, "Yeah, the whole team down there." So Coach Hayes called our coach in Los Angeles and said, "Well, you guys have any guys interested in going to college, going to school in Houston?" So I said, just so happened I was coming out that year. That was in 67. I was coming out. I graduated in winter 67. Then we had winter and summer classes. I graduated in winter class. He said, "Well, Houston, why don't you just wait and come back out, at 68 and come down here?" I said, "Okay, sounds good." So I came down. Like I said, he sit there, patiently got us in school, made sure our classes and stuff were taken care of. We never had to go through no changes or nothing like that. Everything was taken care of. And it was just a blessing. He looked out for us, and like I said, and basically mentored us, took care of us, invested his time and everything else in us and stuff, talked with our parents and stuff all the time. He would always talk with your parents. Anytime anything was going on, he would give them a call and let them know how we doing and stuff like that, what's going on with the school. And then the other great thing about it was that Coach, like I said, I had other brothers and stuff that swam and stuff. And so he ended up getting my brothers to come down and stuff and putting them on scholarship and stuff. In the same situation, he dealt with them, he mentored each one of them and stuff to where we all became very successful and stuff. And I had 5 brothers. It was 5 of us that came down, and 4 brothers and myself. And all of us have college degrees. All of us are very successful, mainly because of the mentor and stuff that he did. We have one brother, like I said, was graduated in engineering. The one under me, Orlando, in engineering. He ended up being over the school district maintenance department in Los Angeles, LA Unified. The next brother was Garfield. He went to University of Northern Colorado. And I kept saying, "Why are you paying all this money to go to school?" So he came down there during spring break one time, and we was in there working out and stuff. We had a little practice meet with somebody, so he swam in the practice meet with us. And Coach go, "Why isn't he down here with us?" Now he's swimming for University of Northern Colorado. I said, "I don't know why he's a coach here, but he needs to come down here." So he talked to him and stuff and told him, "Hey, look, you don't need to pay all that money back. You need to come down to TSU full scholarships. You don't have to worry about nothing. He said, all right. And so he did. He ended up transferring down here. He got his degree, like I said, in special education and stuff, and he get the master's and certificate in special education. And he just retired from LA Unified in special education as a assistant principal at one of the high schools out there. And then, like I said, under him, then Ramon, the next brother, he graduated in engineering from TSU and stuff, and worked for Brown and Root. He was project manager of some of these nuclear power plants they were building, working for a European country, and doing extremely well, you know, and stuff. And then, like I said, then my youngest brother, Mario, he came down here. He goes, well, okay, I'll come down since you guys are down there. So he ended up coming down here. He was a breaststroker. And like went to TSU, and then he saw a bulletin saying Rice University had a naval ROTC. He goes, they do? He said, yeah, okay. So he ended up going to Rice while he was at TSU. He went to Rice, the naval ROTC, graduated from TSU and graduated from Rice, went to Florida and became a Navy pilot in Florida. So he flew for the Navy for 4 years, and then after that, he went and flew for United Airlines, and he just retired as a 787 captain for United Airlines. So, I mean, it's just, you know, it's just amazing what Coach has done for us, and he's mentored us through all of these different phases of your life and stuff, and we still keep in contact with him. And then, of course, that story I have to tell you about Coach. When I came down, the guys called me Jerry, I guess for Jerry Lewis, because I was just that crazy. But Stops was the main one, because Stops was on the original team. So he said something was wrong with me because I was like, because we used to practice. He had practiced us, and we were almost getting ready to pass out. And then when I get to the end of the line, he goes, Coach, this is it, this is it. I say, no, Coach. I said, I'm not even tired yet. I said, what's wrong with these guys? I said, we need to do more. And so they all look at me. The whole team want to jump on me like, oh, you got to be crazy. So what's wrong with you? So, but like I said, they just bust out. He said, all right, since Eric said let's go. We need to do at least one more there.
There you go.
And he would do it. It was just amazing. Of course, I did it because of the fun of it. I was just as tired as they were, but I just wouldn't tell them that. But like I say, it was just amazing how he would mentor us and keep us going and keep us motivated. And tell you that you can do whatever you want to do. All you have to just keep believing in yourself and keep achieving. And he just motivated us to that point to be able to do stuff like that. And it really worked out well.
I wanted to add one other thing. I would be remiss. Now, we're talking about swimming, which we should, because he cut his teeth in swimming. But also, I want you all to know that throughout the 60s, 70s, 80s, and the early 90s, we probably had, Coach ran the YMCA as well. And we probably had the strongest gym, not in Houston, but probably anywhere in the world. And I can't tell you all the professional athletes that came through that little small YMCA that we had down there on Wheeler Street.
This was weightlifting training.
The weightlifters and the professional athletes, to name a few, probably. I'll start off with the Hall of Famers that we had. Darryl Green played and retired with the Washington Redskins. Probably is the most famous that we had, followed by Dexter Manley, and followed by Eric Heron, and followed by Elvis Patterson, followed by myself. We had a lot of athletes in there, and we all trained hard, swam hard. We had to swim just because he wanted to get us all in shape. So still swimming was professional almost for his swimming athletes, but for us, we had to do it as well because he wanted to get all of us in shape, and he thought it was an integral part for our training. And so, I can say he teases me all the time. Johnny, we've been with him so long. I remember the day that he turned 40. I told him, he said, I coined the phrase that he was naughty 40. Then he went to nifty 50, then sexy 60. I'm going to stop right there. So we've gone through some other decades with it, but, throughout, a long life, he's just meant the world to all of us. And you can see, we're still together now. We're still fond of him now. We still call him just as much now as we did back then. We're not as surprised as we used to be, but we still love him the same and owe so much to him.
Right. And like I say, he was pretty much like a father image. Matter of fact, we used to say he was our second father and stuff like that. Because he basically looked at you totally, and he constantly looked out for you, took care of you and stuff like that. So it was just a blessing to have somebody like that. But like the other story I can tell you also, his wife, of course, is from Baton Rouge. All right, my mother's from Baton Rouge, and pretty much in the same neighborhood. So when I came down, like I said, he called me Jerry because I was so crazy and stuff. I told Coach, you can't get rid of me because I'm kin to you. I'm your kin folks, you know, because I'm kin to your wife, so you can't kick me off the team.
That's right.
And stuff. And we thought that was just so crazy and stuff. But it was just the connection we had there, like I said, with the Baton Rouge connection with his wife and my folks and stuff. It was really nice and stuff. Well, the thing is, like I said, if anything, I guess the main thing is if we continue to do what he did to support other young people, like he did, like he supported us and stuff, to be able to share that. And of course, like I said, I'm here at TSU. I'm on the foundation board here at Texas Southern University. So we spend a lot of time raising money and doing things for the university and stuff. And basically, it's just to give back to the university because of what the university did for us and stuff. And for my family, we are truly blessed. Because like I said, we couldn't afford to go across the street, let alone go to a college. You know, I think junior college was like $6 to $8 a semester, and that was hard for us to come up with that kind of money to go to junior college and stuff. So to get a scholarship to come down here was just unreal. And like I said, for my family, you can imagine what the burden it took off my mother. And I guess one more story I can tell. My oldest brother, he didn't come down there. He went to the Air Force Academy. He got a scholarship to the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs and stuff. And I can remember my mother being upset and crying because out of 7 of us, all 7 of us have degrees. I have one sister. But out of the 7 of us, he's, going to a major university, Air Force Academy and stuff like that. And she looked at the rest of us like, okay, I got all these other kids. I can't afford to send them nowhere. It's going to be a shame. The oldest brother goes to this academy and then I can't do this. And then, I can't afford to send them to college and stuff. So by Johnny Means recruiting us down here and us being able to come down and go to school, it was just truly a blessing. Like I said, once again, people still ask to this day, how do you get 7 kids to all have college degrees coming out of South Central Los Angeles? They're very rare. And it was just a blessing, all the way around. Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you, appreciate everything he's done for us and stuff, and we will always be here for him, whatever he needs. And as we get older and stuff like that, we just basically have to look out for each other and stuff. So my message to him that we'll definitely be here for you, me and my kids and family. Anything he needs or wants, it's just a matter of him calling, and as far as we're concerned, he's part of the family.
Coach, I would just like to say thank you. We've been together a long time. You mean the world to me. Your family means the world to me. Couldn't have made it through this life without your help and your guidance and the assistance that you provided all along the way. We owe you so much. We can never repay you. But just know that our love will last a lifetime. So thank you very much.
My name is Mark Borner. Well, I got to Houston in '88, and I think he started HCAP in '92. So somewhere along the line, we ran into each other probably on deck, because I think I just started noticing that he had some pretty good swimmers, and they were excelling at a pretty good rate, and so we both had probably similar type swimmers. So I think that's probably how we met each other. I don't even know how this grew. It was we probably had a meeting at his place. We were talking about philosophy, and our philosophies at the beginning, not the way that we coached the program. He was a kind of a intense short yardage guy. I was a kind of a distance guy, but our philosophies kind of gelled and how we did programs together. And it was just kind of interesting to me the way he would do things and the success that he had. So I just remember going over to his office and shooting the bull with him, and this was supposed to be a 5-minute meeting, and I think we probably were there for 5 hours, and we were talking about swimming for a little bit, but then we started talking politics, and we started talking about race, and I was telling him that I grew up in kind of a lily white place, and I'm about 10 years younger than he is. So he got into the racial thing so much earlier than I did, had it all dumped on him, and I was at the end of it. And so it was just kind of interesting to listen to his take on all these things. So our meetings are just so crazy. We were talking about people that we liked, we didn't like, philosophies that we liked, and how to work on programs, right now I'm semi-retired. I coach for people, but probably in the last 15 years, I've really gravitated to what he did back then. So it was always something I wanted to implement, but it was very difficult because of the way that my program was structured, and it didn't really work well together. You couldn't alternate it because your muscles would be like Jello. But we had great conversations on this stuff, and I met his wife, or talked to his wife. She's a little energized bunny. And after, and I was telling Janine that we'd be at these meetings, and after 5 hours, she'd call and said, "Get your butt home," and she goes, "Okay, I gotta go," and then we'd still be there for another hour and a half. So he's yelling at me. I'm going, I don't know what to do. I'm not married, so I don't have to worry about this. You do. So anyway, that's kind of how we did things. But I just consider him a dear friend. I don't know how all this stuff started, but we met quite a bit, and I thought it was an honor for him to have this pool built for him. And again, I was telling Janine, and I told him, I said, God, you got to have an ego to walk over your name every goddamn day. I mean, everybody wants that. But I think that program developed into something that is well-known nationally and well-known worldwide. And for anybody politically that's listening, I think you need to continue it because people really respect him and they respect that program a lot for what it's done. And it's always interested me how it was developed and how they could get people not to charge fees, and we had to. And he goes, well, the other thing, I'm not the answer to a lot of parents. And he goes, you do. And so we ended up talking about that quite a bit, and I guess I just enjoyed that he was a straight shooter. What he said is what he meant, and I'm kind of a sarcastic person, but he is too. So we went head to head on that. So it was kind of fun. Well, I just think he ended up being on the board a lot, but he had liked me because when he started coaching, he was probably the oldest coach there with the most experience. So golf swimming, I know he had a lot to do with diversity, but the other thing is that golf swimming kept wanting to make changes. And because he and I were, I would say, older, our ideas kind of meshed. And I don't know why, but because we came from different sides of swimming, and but he and I would go to these meetings and fight like cats and dogs, trying to keep things. This is the way things should be, while all these changes are trying to go on. And so I think he had a big impact then. But I think down the line, the older guys got thrown out. So, but I think he meant a heck of a lot, and I think the program it was nothing at the beginning, and to where it was 250 kids. So I think that was the last time I talked to him about that. It was huge. And the other thing is I've always gotten along with everybody he's hired or his staff. I don't know why. They've always been really kind to me, and I've been nice to them. But it just they're all genuine people, and they all seem to be funny. we all got along, so it was kind of crazy, I guess. But they all spoke highly of him. They trusted him, and and I guess I was always looking, how do you do that? So again, he's a straight shooter. He's honest and he's to the point. What he was doing with this program, and I think it was in combination with Franco Lee, but I mean to have this program support underprivileged kids for as many years as it did, and be as successful. Most programs that deal with that, they end up with kids that are just at a lower level. But he had kids that were just flying. So that's how I ended up. His kids and my swimmers and his swimmers ended up becoming good friends, and they were at all the meets together. That's probably where we ended up connecting later on. But I think the legacy is this program, and I think it's done wonders for Houston, the United States, and I think throughout the world. There are people that have asked about it, coaches that I know. I go to coaches clinics all the time, and people from all over the world have talked about this place because of how successful it's been and how it's structured, because there's no place structured like this. So I don't know how it went. So it's kind of weird. I have a funny story though. I mean, I remember going to UT, and I don't know when this was, probably in the late 90s. And UT they have a big 50-meter pool, and then they have 2 steps, and the steps are about a foot tall to get to the next level. And then you got the diving pool. And he would always have this big director's chair and sit and watch the kids. And I would always stand because I got those saggy butt chairs and I hated those things. So I would stand up during the whole stupid meet. And when he would get up to go get something to eat or watch his kid, I would go sit in his chair. And so when he come back, I'm going, do you want me to get up? And he goes, no, you can stay there. So finally, this is happening every meet. And he goes, Mark, do you want me to buy you one of these chairs? And so finally I got off my butt and bought one. So I didn't take up his chair, but that was just one of the funnier stories I thought. What would I say to him? Oh gosh. We would probably have a 5-hour meeting. And if it was the last time, I'd probably just say, you're probably one of the closest friends I've had since I've been to Houston. And I don't know why, but it's just the way it is. We just had similar ideas, and I know he was a no-nonsense person, and that's kind of what I am. I'm not. Together, we could be funny and corny, but apart, that wasn't what we were like. But I don't know. He was a great guy.
Okay, hello, my name is Troy Means. As you can see, I share a last name with Coach Means, and that's because he's my father. So as my father, he's been my ultimate influence. He's the man who raised me. I know we're here to celebrate his achievement, especially with HCAP. I'm a bit too old to have been a part of it, but I was coached by him in swimming, specifically at the South Central YMCA Summer Leagues. And he coached me for years there. So I did experience the grueling workouts that he dishes out. Even before then, I have vivid memories of him coaching at Texas Southern University. I used to sit up in the lifeguard chair and watch him drill his swimmers. So I've been watching him coach swimming for decades. And likewise, I've watched him coach other sports. He has coached strength training. He has even coached other sports such as football. So coaching is in its nature. It's something, he's a teacher. He has great insight. I used to always feel that some kind of way he could always predict the future, and he was really good with making predictions. And then when those predictions come true, he would point at you and say, "Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you?" And I was like, how does this man know everything? So, but he's been a super duper influence on my life. He's my best friend, bar none. He's my role model, my mentor, and it's very difficult to fill his shoes, but just the effort to fill his shoes is enough. If you can just become half the man that he is, I feel like I would be successful. And even to this day, he still influences me.
Hello, my name is Jordan Means. As you can see, I also share the same last name. Johnny Means is my grandfather. I swam with him for around 4 years. And well, as a family man, as a grandfather, he's very knowledgeable. He's very good at talking to and giving advice and whatnot. But in HCAP, swimming under him and the coaches that worked under him, it was very good. It was intense workouts with me and my brothers swimming there also. But I've retained so much from him over the course of training under him and going in competitions with him that even out of HCAP, I've managed to retain my knowledge of swimming. When I go to a certain area in a certain swimming pool, whether it's here or other areas, I'm able to do all the exercises that he and the other coaches taught me extremely well. He has a lot of, he's very relaxed. He's a very relaxed person. You're able to talk to him about anything, whether it's about HCAP or other things, and learn so much about him, considering that he's older and he's accomplished a lot. And he set a certain standard for me, teaching for half a century and doing so much for the community. He's somebody I look up to as a person. And so he's been an extremely good influence for me and the rest of my family. And I've learned so much from him, being more active outside of HCAP and learning a lot more. He has been somebody that throughout my entire life I've been able to look up to. So I very much appreciate his support. He's been a great influence, a great person in the community, and hopefully he does it in the years to come as well. Absolutely. He's not gonna coddle me because of that. There were a lot of intense workouts. If I fooled around, he would absolutely punish me for it. It wasn't easy, but it was something I had to work through. And he understood that, and I understood that, and we went through it, and it worked out well for the best.
From my experience, I think he was harder on me than the others. He wanted to show that he was not going to coddle a family member, so I think I got it a little harder. With me, I would say blessed. There are a lot of people who have adopted him like a father, and I've known people to actually call him dad, and to think that, well, he is actually my father. So I was really blessed to have him with me throughout my whole life. And in other words, pride. The fact that so many others kind of embraced him like a father, it gave me a lot of added siblings, and I figured there was a lot of him that could be shared. So that never bothered me. I always took pride in that. And, another word is just impressive. To me, I grew up thinking he was Superman, and he looked like he was almost infallible, indestructible. He could do it all. And I used to carry that, a lot of pride behind that.
If I wanted to get a word out, it would probably be very impressive. He's an accomplished individual. He is somebody who many people treat like a father figure because of his status. He was somebody I could really look up to as a person, and many other people did as well. from my beginning of my time at HCAP onward. It was something that I felt that we need more of in the world. Somebody with his mannerisms, somebody who with his ambition and accomplishments. And it was also a blessing to have somebody like him at the head of at the head of something like this. It was something that I very much admired and appreciated.
Oh, definitely. You know, Dad, I love you. You're my hero. You're my role model. You've been such a positive influence on me. You know, I can't thank you enough for all you've done. He's made super sacrifices for his family, and he's made sacrifices for so many others. I always said that my father is very talented, and he probably, if he wanted to, he could have been a famous actor or a pro football player or anything. But he was so sure of himself that he really didn't have to pursue things to satisfy his ego. You know, he put all his time into helping people. So, you know, you sacrifice for so many people, and you deserve all of the accolades that you can get.
Well, I say a lot of personal messages to him all the time. But if what I wanted to say right now is I wanted to thank him so much for everything he has given me throughout the years. All the knowledge, all the skill needed to progress throughout my life has done things like gotten me out through college, his support. I've been getting a high-paying job, all that type of stuff, all can be attributed to him in some way. And so it's a blessing to have him in my life. He is he's an old-fashioned man. He is somebody who has learned so much and has taken that and has spread it on to my dad and by extension myself. And it has been to the benefit of everybody in his life. And so I want to thank him so much for not just as a grandfather, but as a teacher, as a mentor, and as a coach. And it's a blessing to have him in part of my life. One value, I think there would be a lot, but one is he is mature enough to handle any sort of setbacks, anything that goes wrong, and solves it to the best of his ability, and it works out very well. And that's something that I think people, especially my generation, need more of nowadays.
I would say confidence, being self-assured. You know, I think that that's a big part of his success, and it's something that I try to emulate and try to pass that down, that, you know, just believe in yourself. He's always believed in himself, that he could do anything. And if you believe in yourself, you'll be surprised how much you can accomplish.